Have you ever learned something you probably didn't know and was like, oh well, that's cool? Well, today I will list Danganronpa facts that you won't really think of the next day and probably you didn't know. It is actually confirmed twice in the Danganronpa official art book that Danganronpa heights actually include their shoes and heels, so all of the characters are actually shorter than what we thought they are. It makes sense that Saihara would be taller than Akamatsu despite her wearing shoes that look like about 6 centimeters because of how big they look like, making her 5'3", which is pretty short. Spike Chunsoft made a poll asking fans who would be into fidget spinners, in which Kazuichi has one.
Hey, what is going on, guys? So this video, I know a lot of people have been waiting for, but I'm going to show you my entire collection of fidget spinners. There's definitely well over 1,000 spinners here. So I'm going to show you everything that's on the table first, and then I got a lot of other spinners, and
including non-canon modes like the Love Hotel, Salmon Mode and Ultimate Development Plan. Himiko says Naya about 299 times in the Japanese version. Danganronpa Ultimate Sunmark Camp usually lists the characters' most important moments in their final card. They are not completely useless because they show Kokichi's most important moment, which is when he called Akamatsu not boring, and I quote in the Japanese version, "See you next time, Akamatsu, you definitely weren't boring." This heavily implies his motive for ending the game was to fulfill her wish, as he kept the promise about considering everyone friends and tried to end the game only immediately after her death. While this is very useful, I am still gonna add this to the list, because it's pretty obvious for almost everyone else besides Kokichi. The only Danganronpa characters who have mushroom sprites are Iruma, Anashima, Monomi, Mohafani and Shirokuma. If I had a nickel for every time a Danganronpa character has a mushroom sprite, I would have 5, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened 5 times. You can actually range each cast from oldest to youngest, because in Japan the school year starts in April and ends in March. Children who were born between April 2nd and April 1st of the following year are placed within the same grade, so Danganronpa characters who are born April would be the oldest, while the characters who were born in March would be the youngest. Here is a Reddit post I found arranging them from oldest to youngest in each game. In Danganronpa 2, Gundam, Chiaki, Komeda and the Imposter are the only characters who don't have a crying or tearing sprite. Yes, they do have upset sprite, just not one where they at least tear. Before V3's release, Kodaka and the other Danganronpa developers sent out a poll to gauge who the fans thought had the highest and lowest chance of surviving Danganronpa V3. Ultimately, the fans believed that Maki had the highest chance of surviving, while Himiko had the highest chance of dying, and they were both wrong and right, as both of them have survived. Everyone makes fun of Hajime because he doesn't know what an octagon is. I'm sorry to burst the bubble for you Hajime fans, but this is because Komeda uses the word octagon in English in the Japanese version, and because Hajime doesn't know English, he wouldn't know what an octagon means. This was probably said in English to make it a challenge to the Japanese players. In the early stages of Danganronpa 2, Chiaki Nonami was designed to be the sister of Kihiro Fujisaki from Danganronpa 1. However, as the story developed, this had to be changed. This connection is very clear in one of Chiaki's earliest beta art sketches, shown here. Just like how they confirmed in the art book that Danganronpa heights includes shoes and heels, they also confirmed that Tojo polishes Kokichi's shoes. The video really lives up to its title, I know lol. Danganronpa 1 had a Japanese-only demo. In it, the first victim was Yasuhiro Hagakure, killed in Makoto's shower. The demo is cut off before a verdict can be reached. Though it's implied that the killer is Hifumi Yamada, the demo got a manga adaptation that confirmed Hifumi was the killer. This exact same scenario was reused in the demo for Danganronpa V3, in which Hiro was found in Akamatsu's shower. The evidence points to Makoto as the culprit, but the trial is cut short. There was no official confirmation of the culprit. This isn't part of the segment, but there is a strange, mysterious scene that heavily implies the demo is canon since it aligns with V3's ending, and I believe the demo is canon.
I look forward to seeing you guys start your real killing game semester!
Hey, how was our acting?
It wasn't too shabby! I especially liked how convincingly you wasted everyone's time!
I was a little worried about the end there. Hope it was exciting enough. Well, since we got through it smoothly, that's it for today.
Smell you later!
Good job, everyone. Good job. See ya!
Hey! Wait for me!
Speaking of the demo, the Ultimate Academy in V3 actually has a kitchen area beyond the dining hall. This kitchen area is never used in-game and was made exclusively for the investigation in V3's demo in order to mirror events in Danganronpa 1. I am glad we could see the kitchen in the demo because it looks so cool. This is where Tojo made breakfast for everyone. Leon has walking sprites in the files for Danganronpa 1. This implies that characters could have been able to walk and move around at some point in Danganronpa's development. Ibuki Miyota is a K-On! Reference. In Japanese, her title is the Ultimate Light Music Club member. In addition, her name is made up from parts of the names of the 4 main K-On! Protagonists. Kibo's name in English is officially K1B0. However, this was only added in the English translation. There was no mention of K1B0 in the original Japanese. This is just one of the ocean of mistranslations in V3. Heck, I think most of the mistranslations are definitely done on purpose. In Rantaro's Survivor video, a really interesting detail is that you can see a shape that looks like a dog. I don't know if this is actually a dog or it just looks like it, but I assume it's Kodaka's dog. But that's just my assumption. But it would be silly if that was the case. Makoto Negi has a hard-to-spot gas mask symbol on his hoodie, and like I said before, with Leon's walking sprites, Danganronpa's daily life and investigations were initially intended to be played third-person, with the player controlling Makoto from behind. The symbol itself is a reference to 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, the first entry of the Zero Escape saga. In Identity V, the Danganronpa characters chosen to be Survivor were always placed at the top 5 most popular characters, so this means it's likely 4 of these 5 characters are gonna be the survivors for Identity V. And the last useless fact for this video, in Danganronpa V3 Chapter 1, Cat, this is Ultra Despair Girls. And that is all of the 20 useless Danganronpa facts. Since many of you got a cookie for the last video, this time, if you made it this long, here is a cupcake for you.